Let's scroll to the Marvel Cinematic Universe panel.
Yeah.
Give me a recap. What happened?
All right, so they announced, here are all the movies they announced. They dated Black Widow for May 1st of 2020.
Got it.
Next year.
So that's the first one.
Mm-hmm. The Eternals, Shang-Chi, and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Well, TV, we also have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
But he's talking about
movies.
not Disney Plus.
I'm doing movies first, and then the series.
Will you please let the producer of Collider do his job?
That's fine.
Christian?
Well, the producer, that's not what the producer does. The news guy does that, and he's the news guy too. So you messed up.
Oh,
the
we can
roles.
go here.
Well, I'm going over here because it's just canon-wise. It connects. So,
Right.
So then if we go off here, Black Widow is May 1st, then the Falcon and Winter Soldier is fall. They don't really say fall 2020. Then go ahead, Ryan.
The
And that's on
Eternals.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. The Eternals, November 6, 2020. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, February 2021. WandaVision
What's that now?
on spring 2021.
That's Scarlet Witch.
Right. And then here's what.
WandaVision.
And then WandaVision is going to lead right into, Loki's there too for spring of 2021. But WandaVision, what's her name? Why can't I think of her name right now?
Olsen?
Elizabeth Olsen?
Elizabeth Olsen, thank you, is also going to be in Doctor Strange. And the
My favorite.
Multiverse of Madness, which is the greatest title of all time.
And it's going to be a
And
gothic
it's a
horror
gothic horror movie.
I'm so excited.
So WandaVision is going to connect to Doctor Strange too.
Okay.
And then, which Roxy, I know you're excited. What If, summer 2021.
That's going to be a fun series.
Hawkeye, fall of 2020. And then Lore? Sure. Thor, Love and Thunder, November 5th, 2021.
Stupid
Now,
name.
let's talk
So,
about the Thor.
and no Guardians announcement.
Not yet.
Well, he said we still
I
didn't
heard.
have time to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which then James Gunn came out and said, well, I'm doing Suicide Squad
First.
and then that. So that's why there wasn't much there.
Well, Thor: Love and Thunder. They also announced that Natalie Portman would be playing Lady Thor.
Yep.
Now,
Jane Foster is going to be Thor.
so when PJ Campbell was backstage at the show and he told me about it, and he was like super stoked about this too. I said I was stoked that they were bringing in Lady Thor. I was not stoked about Natalie Portman, and I'll tell you why. Because she is. I'm a really big fan of Natalie Portman. Like the last year, Vox Lux was one of my favorite movies, and I thought she was great in it. When she's in these smaller movies, she shines. I don't know any big budget movies that she's really given herself to where, but and I can't remember
Star
who it
Wars.
was. Yeah, not really. And I can't
Well,
remember.
that's not her fault.
I can't remember who it was that said it, but someone turned to me and said, "Well, she is working with Taika."
Yeah.
And maybe the fact that she's going to get excited to work with him, and maybe he's going to get like that fun kind of Natalie Portman out of her, and I think that does get me a little bit more excited for it.
Black Swan.
It's not a big budget movie.
You don't think so?
No, it's
Good
do
talk.
you think it's a big budget movie?
I don't know. It looked pretty good.
What does that have to do with anything?
A lot of dancing.
It did
What
look
was
pretty
the
good.
budget on Big Swan?
13 million.
13 million.
The big budget.
Big budget for you or I.
It'd be massive.
That's massive for us. But yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I think this is different for her because I
Yeah.
think she's going to get something to do because I think she was
Not a big
phoning it
budget
in
movie.
Yeah,
on
she was.
Dark World.
Exactly.
No,
It's not big
V-
either.
They were pointing
V
to
for
V for
Vendetta.
Vendetta. It's not a huge movie.
Really?
No, it's like 30 million or something, 40 million.
Pretty big for me.
For us, yeah.
She was pretty great in Annihilation.
What do you call big budget? Over 70?
At this point, like 100 plus, yeah. Because even that is for a really big. I mean, now you get movies like whether it's Star Wars, Avengers, they're going 200 plus every time.
I thought that she was really. I thought it was so rough. Jane's character was so
Yeah.
rough in the first couple.
Right.
There was just nothing to really do with her. I'm so excited that I think I did either a movie fights or something the other day where I was talking about how if there was one character that I would like to see have a resurgence, it's her because they did her so dirty.
Yeah.
Like she just disappeared and we just were like, oh yeah, they
Oh,
broke
they broke
up.
up.
Yeah. What?
good. All
and
right.
she's so talented that I just feel like she hasn't had the right champion in this area.
I don't disagree with that at all.
And I think it could be awesome. And all of our expectations are so low. Like they have set us up for success here because nobody ever has been like, oh, she's the best part of the Thor movies.
Right, and maybe she turns that around because of Taika. So I mean, you look at what he did in general with just switching the character of Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth he played some comedy in the Avengers, but he really had a lot more to do in Ragnarok than he did in the first two Thors.
Well, if you watch Cabin in the Woods, which is a great horror movie,
Yeah.
he actually filmed that before Avengers or before Thor, and he's hilarious.
Oh,
in movie.
I'm just talking about the character Thor itself. Because even in the first Thor movie, he's telling jokes, but he's not aware of the jokes. You know, like he'll walk in about in that shop and he asks for like a horse or whatever he does, and it's like he's the very serious character. And that just changed completely. A little shift in the Dark World, but he's full-on comedy character in the third one, and I think it worked for what Chris Hemsworth is strong with. Exactly what you're saying. Like you saw what he's able to do, and even though that shit-ass reboot of Vacation, he was the best part of Vacation.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't see it.
He was good in Ghostbusters. I mean, he's
he
great
was.
in everything.
Blade. What
I
did
was going to
Blade?
say.
Towards the end, though, because Blade has been confirmed is going to be a part of Phase 5.
Right.
But they did announce because Mahershala Ali basically called Kevin Feige and said, let's talk. And he sat down and said, I want to do Blade. And so Kevin Feige later said, when he calls, you listen. And so they're working it out. And
Let me ask you this, though. Why were there all these articles about him? I saw all these articles being like, Mahershala Ali throwing his Oscar in people's faces to get what he wants. And I was like, what?
Good.
Well, that doesn't even make sense to me. Were you guys seeing all this?
I
All the
didn't see it.
pushback?
Well, this is what Kevin Feige said. It's the complete Phase 4, the way I announced the complete Phase 3 5 years ago. Things can move, things can change as they did if you go back and look what we talked about 5 years ago for Phase 3. But we've been working on this for quite a while, and it's pretty set. But there are always changes possible. It's
Were
like-
there any Phase 3 movies that were announced that never took place?
Yeah, I think there was the
Inhumans.
The Inhumans.
Oh,
Yeah, they
Good
announced
riddance.
that up top. Yeah, because then they turned it into a TV thing, and that didn't work.
no.
Well,
They were
here's what
really
a lot of
good.
people are saying is that Phase 4 could also include Spider-Man 3. They just haven't moved forward on it yet or announced it because Far From Home still in theaters. Guardians Volume 3 could be there.
Right. Black Panther 2.
But this
Black
was
Panther
slated
2.
until 2021. So when do you guys feel like Phase 4 would close out?
2022 maybe.
Maybe.
So you're saying they could be
I think
taking
there's
place a year
still
after.
more announcements to come. I
Yeah.
think that these are what they were ready to announce. I think Spider-Man 3 is a sure bet. Black Panther 2.
Captain
and
Marvel
Captain Marvel
too?
2.
Captain
I was going to
Marvel
say
2.
Captain Marvel too.
But the one I was most surprised that they did not discuss was Black Panther.
Right.
I thought we were closer to that.
Not getting that?
Yeah.
Well, it's been announced that Coogler's back,
Yeah.
and it's in
I'm
development.
just shocked they're finally
Interesting.
doing Black
That-
Widow.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. He says his own name.
It's really not his
Ding.
name. It's not his real name. His name's Marshall Mathers. But,
What are you guys most excited about?
well,
He says that,
Fantastic
too.
Four was something else that they said, and that
He
was
said
this-
we haven't even talked about,
What?
and then he said Guardians Volume 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Fantastic Four, and those mutants. That's kind of how
And
we
those
put it.
mutants,
Those mutants.
mutants. And the
Those
mutants.
mutants.
right, and that'll probably come out like Phase 5.
That's what the new movie should be called.
Those
yeah.
mutants.
Those
Instead of
mutants.
X-Men.
Somebody
It's
showed
like,
me one of the
these
Schmodown.
mutants.
Yeah, one of the Schmodown fans was like, "Look, I took a picture with the new Wolverine, and it was Taron Egerton." And I'm like, "They announced that?" He's like, "Yeah," and they didn't announce that, right?
No, they did not.
No.
Isn't
they
it
would've-
crazy how people make things up?
I don't. Maybe he misunderstood what I was asking him. I don't know. But he was. it
No,
was-
but it happens all the time. People
Yeah.
will tweet at me. I'll be doing a show, and during a live show, people will tweet, or they'll in the live chat say, "breaking whatever," and it's just nowhere. They just are making it up.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I do like the fact Fantastic Four. We knew that they were gonna. We speculated that
Right.
that was gonna happen because they finally are getting it back, and they want to probably do what was going on with Spider-Man at one point. Spider-Man had way better success than Fantastic Four has in the past.
And remember that Doctor Doom movie that was supposed to happen with Noah Hawley? Is
Yeah.
that just
I
done?
don't think so. I think they want to set it up
I don't know.
first.
Damn it!
They
Because
wanna-
he's like one of my favorite showrunners.
Yeah.
I would love. I hope he's involved in Fantastic Four somehow.
Maybe.
I am so ready for a Fantastic Four movie to be amazing.
Yeah, me too.
I want it so bad. I really think that they should have done a mini series, but I am so ready for a Fantastic Four that I can just champion and root for. I want it so bad.
Do you think?
I love
because
Fan 4.
Wasn't Emily Blunt? She was considered at one point for Captain Marvel, right?
Black Widow.
It was Black. Yeah, but I know. But then I thought it was Captain Marvel after that too.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Well, she is an unbelievable action star, so
So, is the only reason because she's right now she's a little older than back when she was auditioning for Black Panther, right? And that was one of the things I think that hurt Katie Sackhoff because I thought Katie Sackhoff to this day would have been a great Captain Marvel. Do you think
I agree with that.
because of that they'll probably go younger with Sue Storm?
because of what?
Because Emily Blunt, if they do like 3 or 4 movies, it maybe they'd be going for younger.
Yeah, because every time they reboot something, it's usually they want a young cast
That's
so they
what I
can
mean.
keep doing sequels.
Right. I mean, look at
I
Tom
think
Holland.
she's a
Yeah.
pretty easy cast.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Emily Blunt. I'm talking about the
Sue
character.
Storm, yeah.
There's so many different directions you could go with her that it's not like they have to go with an Emily Blunt.
No, I know.
So I think that, yes, they probably will go younger because they can.
Yeah.
And usually when studios can go younger, they do.
And I think we're going to get a more serious. I mean, it'll obviously have that Marvel humor to it, like all the Marvel movies do. But I think you're going to get a more serious take on it than they have in the past. Even though the Josh Trank one kind of tried to do that, it's just that thing was just such a mess. in
Look,
general.
do
Okay,
you
but-
like, and you don't like the Fantastic Four movies that we've seen at all? Or?
No, not really. I think that the Tim Story ones, like the second one, the Silver Surfer one, I thought was better than the first one. To be honest with you,
I liked it actually.
I
was
wouldn't go that
entertained,
far.
but
Yeah,
it's
I would
not
say I'm
great.
entertained.
Yeah.
It was entertaining, and I could watch it, but it was like a really bad like Saturday morning cartoon as opposed to
Yeah.
a movie I wanted to see in the theater.
I just can't believe what amazing casting we've had for Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Yeah, Chickless, man.
Crazy.
Chickless still is the best
His
thing.
thing, yeah.
Who was? Oh,
Literally.
it was Billy Elliot. What's his name? Jamie Bell.
Jamie Bell.
Was the thing. Mm-hmm. Right.
Great.
That's a good trivia question. Because that's kind of if you think about that, you're just like, oh shit, who was it? Mm-hmm. It's a good like round one.
Yeah.
God, I just told everybody. So
No,
if you
you
watch
spoiled it.
No, if
There
you
you
watch
go.
Clyde Alive, you'll get it right. 'Cause
I
it'll pop
remember
up.
Billy Elliot.
Yeah,
That's a
Billy
good
Elliot's
movie.
Fantastic.
Fantastic movie.
I love that movie.
Okay, but
Made
Blade.
me cry.
Yeah.
But Blade.
Yes.
Do
What
we
about
have
it?
anything other than the actor?
No.
Just the actor, and that it's going to be slated for Phase 5. So I wonder how they're going to
So
set
excited.
it up.
That's the one. Did
That's
you
my
guys see
favorite.
Dorian's reaction on social media?
No, dude.
Where he
He
was
lost his mind.
videotaping it, and as soon as Mahershala puts on his Blade cap, you just hear him go, "Oh, holy shit!" I was like, that was my reaction.
I
Is he
think
gonna
it
be-
was most people's the most excited that they were because it was the one that we really didn't know.
At all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Left field.
Yeah.
And do you
And-
think it's going to be rated R? Because that's what made the
Somebody
first
said PG-13, which made me upset.
makes me
Yeah.
upset too.
Who's somebody? Like somebody.
I read it. Like,
Oh.
yeah, I read it
Yeah.
online. I don't know if it's true or not.
You have to look at
I know
if
the
it's
phase.
the MCU.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I don't
But
want that, but
Blade-
it would be great. But if they're doing Deadpool,
Yeah.
we're gonna get Deadpool sooner or later.
Just make
Deadpool
Blade.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make
but-
Blade the rated R Marvel
But Deadpool can
of
be.
MCU. I mean,
I think it will be fine if it's PG-13. Actually, I don't prefer it, but I think it will be okay.
but
Yeah,
it's a
it'll
vampire
work.
movie. He cuts heads off. We need
know.
blood and gore. That's like
Right.
it's like we need like what they did with Logan.
or the original Blade.
Yeah.
What those
Exactly.
were.
I agree that it'd be better,
Right.
but I think they could still do it.
I'm with
thought-
you, Roxy.
I-
I think they can pull it off.
Yeah.
For that movie, I agree. I would not have felt that way with Deadpool because I used to have this
No, I agree with
conversation
that.
with Ellis all the time. He's like, they can still make it work PG-13. I was like, not for Deadpool. Deadpool is
Well, that's
built-
about the humor too.
It is. It's
Yeah.
the language. It's everything, and it's the joke is how filthy he is.
Deadpool, yeah, literally, that's all he does
Yeah.
is make dirty jokes. That's
And-
why I love him.
Yeah, and so that wouldn't have worked the same way because I also think that's why, for many reasons, that he didn't work in Wolverine Origins because it was just the best. You took all the great things from him and then you stapled his mouth shut.